Hello and welcome to episode 3 of Scruffy Joe Explains Satisfactory. In today's episode I'm going to show you how to automate the very first base you'll ever need to set up. It's not a particularly exciting base, it's fairly low tech, but it is essential to get this sorted out to allow you to explore the game further. You've got to always plan ahead. So what is upgrade 5? We're just going to select this milestone. This is going to give us access to additional biomass burners, which I'm going to talk about those in a minute. The object scanner, which is a useful bit of kit. Beacons, which are essential for exploration, because without the beacons you never really quite know where you're going, because at this point in the game you don't have a map. Extra inventory slot and extra equipment slot, both very useful. So what do we need to get there? Just a load of stuff that we've already got, so we can do this fairly simply. So we'll select the milestone. That's going to put that list up there. Great. Now we're going to queue. We're going to have to build some of these. So we basically have all of that stuff already, because we've got these already in place over in the places where we're going to be digging for the minerals. So we don't need to worry about making extra ones of those. We're going to need smelters. So we've got a load of copper wire. It looks like rods are going to be something which is going to be important to us. We're going to need constructors, but not immediately. So that's going to involve steel plates, reinforced steel plates, which is a problem. Logistics wise, that's all plates. Plates, more rods, more concrete. But we also have to do power, so we're going to need more rods, more concrete, more wire, and more cable. It's basically all of the same kind of stuff, all the basic stuff. You're just going to need quite a lot of it. So it's worth trying to piece together which order you should do it in. But before you even start thinking about that, what you should really do is go and grab some bushes. Now, you might need a chainsaw for some bushes, but for others,
initial
you can
scans
just
reveal coloring
grab the
properties in the
leaves.
flower petals. Further analysis required.
Looks like we are going to need chainsaws, which is a technology that you get in a bit, but you can grab these smaller bushes. And you're going to need quite a lot of bushes. And as soon as you get access to the chainsaw, this becomes much easier, because you can just then go and stand in an area like this, hold the chainsaw button down, and it'll just grab everything in one go. So just do a quick bit of manual deforestation. What have we got? 200, 280? 290? Grab some leaves. Find any twigs on the ground, that's also great. I've also found some berries.
This consumable possesses minor healing properties,
which is great.
Further analysis required to establish object scanner
And
identification.
now we're getting little missions which are saying, go and put whatever you just found in the science thing, and then it'll tell you what to do with those things. It'll tell you how you can use them. It'll give you more recipes and stuff. Of course, that would involve going and finding more of them. Okay, so how much we got now? We've got 500 foliage. That'll probably do for a start. 602. Let's just finish up where we're standing. Right, where was the base? Back over here. Ah! Grab these, because they're going to be in the way anyway. Okay, so what we want first, by order of sort of priority, is you need, because you can't split anything at the moment. That all comes later. So you just need one factory. So we just go over here, donk, pick up everything. We hit Q, build a miner. Have it pointing in a reasonably sane direction. There isn't very much room here, I will just say that. Let's point it there. Boink. There it is. Lovely and proud. Then we're going to need a smelter. And as you can see, you got yellow on one side and green on the other. So yellow is in, green is out. Now, what you will do later when you're building a proper base is you will have splitters and conveyor belts going all over the place, and you'll have a nice, solid concrete ground section. But we don't have that option right now, so we're just going to throw in the smelter. Then we're going to hit 3 for conveyor belt. Oh, we are missing iron plates. Okay, so just going to need to quickly grab some plates. Now what are we holding? We can make some plates, so that's fine. We are going to need some more plates and some more rods. And one of the first things you want is a couple of little machines, one making plates and one making rods. And you don't have to worry about it after that. Because everything uses rods. And everything uses plates. Conveyor belts, plate mad. In fact, that'll probably do to begin with. So, conveyor belt. Spunk. Goes there to there. And then we need power. Now, I think we should be able to make biomass. Yes, we can. So we grab our leaves and we turn them into a fuel, which is called biomass. It's not particularly efficient, and you're going to get an early upgrade on this, which is when you turn it into biofuel instead of biomass. But for the minute, biomass will do. There you go. That's good, because we can go and shove 200 sets of leaves in each of these machines. Bonk. And bonk. Okay, so that's now producing electricity and burning fuel. So we want to go for a power line. Okay, so I've connected both of those to this single power point, and then we're going to go and actually, what you can do is you can either put a power point down like that, or you can actually press the cable. Go connect your cable to there, please, and then drag it over there, and it builds a pole for you automatically, which is kind of handy. So we'll go like that because it's nice and convenient, and then we will wire that in there and wire that in there. And then we need to tell this what to smelt, which is iron, please. You don't have to tell that what to iron, that's just going to produce. And it's going to produce 120 per minute because it's a pure source working on a level 1 miner. And this is one of the key important points of the game. The game is all about production rates. So a pure source, miner mark 1, 120 per minute. This, and this is where the game is interesting, will only do 30 a minute. So that's really inefficient. And you could actually have 4 of these machines running off one of those machines. But we don't have the technology to make the splitters yet, so that's why we're not doing that. So that's now making iron. But what we want, really, is something to make the next one after iron, which is either plates or rods. So I'm going to stick one of these down here. Pretty expensive. I'm going to conveyor belt that in. And I'm going to say, make plates. And I am also going to have to build an extra bit of power for that. In fact, probably a couple. So we'll go for one there. And then we'll have one more over here as well. Okay, so here we go. The ore travels in here far too slowly. That works at maximum efficiency because it's always fully charged, which means the miner is not working at maximum efficiency. This is probably working fairly efficiently. And what we need is a construction thing, really. A place to store them, a storage yard. But that's where we're running into space problems. Now, what's next on my list is to just look at how much stuff we've got left in our hands. I'm just going to press the sort button. We can make one more constructor with these. We have enough. We have enough copper. So I tell you what, the thing to do is to build a second production facility of iron. Which we'll have running like that. And in very much the same way as before, we will then have a smelter. Like that. And then we will have our last constructor. I say last because this is me running out of reinforced plates. But that's okay. Right, then we go conveyor into there. Conveyor into there. And then we also need power. Which we will go for another power cable thing there. Just, you only get 4 connections on each wire, which is a bit of a problem. And then we will tell this what to do, which is make rods. Thank you very much. So I can now come over here and just go, hey, give me them. Which is kind of handy. Now I just need to check the power consumption. So we're not using that much. Everything's okay. We do need to start mining some rocks. We also need to throw away some of the junk in our hands. It's important to manage what you're carrying around, otherwise you end up carrying a load of nonsense which you don't need. And it's also worthwhile, because everything is rate based, you can throw stuff away. So we don't need the berries. There's no point holding iron ore anymore because we've got machines using our iron ore for us. We just might throw it away. It's just taking up space. That's going to be interesting at some point. That would be useful. That's worth keeping. Everything else is production stuff. There's no point carrying 1 ingot either. That's really weird. Okay, so the next thing then is to go and basically do exactly the same again, but with copper or concrete. And I'm sort of thinking concrete is probably the way to go, because concrete is quicker and nearer. I'm just going to build one of those, because I didn't do one of those for the concrete machine. And also with concrete comes the ability to build floor and extend into the sky, because there's a lot of stuff down there. Yeah, granted, there's a lot of stuff down there, but if I built out a flat space of concrete, then you can then just sort of have a really bigger base. It makes life easier. Right, so where's me way out? Okay, so we will just oops. Have that running down the hill. Because concrete actually Just going to use that little bit of concrete there, and I will have a constructor, which we can't afford because we need more reinforced plates, which I knew about. I forgot. Where's the way down? Right, so reinforced plates, we need more screws and we need more nuts. Not screws. Screws, rods, and normal plates. Which, of course, we are building. We're building rods and we're building normal plates. So if we come over here, grab these, then run over there. Why is that not happening? Oh, you foolish man. Okay. Right, it was reinforced plates. That was what I needed. I needed 3 of them. Which means I need more screws. There we go. I can build 3 of those. There's no point wasting all of the stuff because I'm going to be automating this production quite sort of speedily. Just before I get to that stage though, you want to kind of just do the manual stuff as minimal as possible. You want to kind of give yourself a nice... Whoa! Ah! Jeez. Give yourself a nice head start. I need to widen that. I really need to widen that out. Give yourself a nice head start by standing for 5 minutes while you have a conversation with somebody else in the room, just with your mouse button pressed down. But then once you've got that done, I'll tell you what. The great thing about this game is when you realise you've done something in the wrong place, you can just dismantle it and rebuild it. So that was originally going to be going off and coming straight down here, but there's no point in doing that because what you could actually do is just have it going over here. Like that. And then you can have your constructor. Not smelter, because we're not smelting anything. That can go there, like that, which will allow me to then just whack a conveyor belt from there to there. We do need some power up here, don't we? Which you can do at range, and this is one of the other cool things about this game, is that you can build things at quite long range. So if I just grab... See? Gotcha. Now my suspicion is I'm going to need more than one connector, so what I'm going to do is just build one to there and then I'll build one up here just because it gives me more options for the future. Oh, I've run out of cable, and this is why you just kind of so slightly run out of things every now and again, so just going to quickly nip back to... Hold on, I have got plenty of wire, so that it's not an issue of running out of stuff. Because that would be a tragedy if you ran out of wire and hadn't quite built enough. Because I haven't at the moment automated my wire production. That's the next thing after the concrete. And then we'll have a full working base. Don't take that shortcut, that's not a shortcut. When I've finished building this concrete production facility, I will use the ill-gotten concrete gains excuse me, to make a bit of a safety area here, because that's terrifying. In fact, how much concrete have I got? 27, that's not enough at the minute. Okay, I'm going to leave that. I'm going to leave that for the minute. That will produce me 100 concrete. All the while these things are still sort of working, they're not full up. Shift and click, by the way, is a way that you can collect things quickly or transfer things quickly. It's just keeping me nice and buoyant. I will come back in a minute and make a bunch of collection facilities all in a row. But just now I need to automate my copper. So we're going to pick that up. Hopefully I should have enough for everything. Okay, what makes the most sense? Probably coming down in this direction. One of those. Then we need to smelt. One of those. We need to belt up in between the two. That will probably be okay for the time being. We're just going to grab that. Grab a power cable. Okay, so that's going to mine copper. That's going to make copper ingots. We will need another constructor. Which we will then turn the copper ingots into wire. New email opened, apparently. Okay, so have I got any? No, but I have got almost everything I need to make them. So let me just quickly run back, get myself my 3, I think it's 3. There's so much iron here, it's unbelievable. This will not be where the additional final base is, because it's far too small. I needed some more reinforced plates, so I think I need screws. There we go. I think that's it. I think that's all I need. You can always check by just hitting Q and selecting the footprint of the thing you want. And it will tell you if you can build it or not. In fact, there's nothing to stop you running around and... Whoa! It's a little bit confusing, but nothing to stop you. Now this is kind of what I was talking about when I was saying that you should use cement to help stuff out, because that's a bit of a pain in the backside to have a conveyor belt running from there and then back down to there. So if we can hit a number 7. And hopefully that should solve that problem. Because we can then just go, unless I've just used all the concrete, in which case I will be really cross with myself. Oh, there we go. Perfect. So then we can just wire that in here. 1, 2, 3. Actually, that's probably not the best idea. We'll wire it in off this one. That's a much better idea. You don't want to end up with your power wires running out. And then we'll conveyor belt into that. Give that an instruction. Make wire. We should now be hunky-dory. Except we're out of power. Now we're either out of power because we've run out of biomass, or we're out of power because I've attached too many things to it and broken it. If it's the second, we're in a problem. That could be a problem. Because I don't actually think... Okay. The problem is that we can't build the next thing. Right, what have we got? We're nearly there. We can probably almost do it. let's just go and grab what is available and then maybe switch a couple of things off. That's just about enough. That's not anywhere near enough. Okay, so what we're going to need to do is turn a couple of things off, really. And hope that 30 bits of cement were created. Yay! It's not a massive deal. We are in a bit of... The problem is that we can't carry on because we can't make what we need, which is more power. What we need is the... It's not in there because it's in here. Excuse me. So we need to finish that first. But good news there is that just means that we need to turn around here and very, very quickly make a few iron ingots, turn them into rods, and then we should be well away, shouldn't we? Because how many rods do we need? Not that many. Can we build enough rods? Do I need to go and grab some rods from somewhere else? 60. Yeah, we're going to be fine. Totally fine. And then that will allow us to build an additional biofuel thing, which will then allow us to power all the things we've built. And then we're going to call it a day. That'll do. So that, all of that gives us this, which is bio burners.
Congratulations. You have unlocked
Which we need a few more plates and a few more rods to build, which is fine because we can do that really quickly.
Biomass burner. Building, space elevator. Equipment, object scanner. Equipment beacon. Additional hand equipment slot. Motivational message. Congratulations, you succeeded in every provided task. On behalf of Fixit Incorporated, I thank you for your current and future service. Additional knowledge. The hub terminal has been converted to give access to milestones there to ensure you progress along Fixit-approved protocols. Additionally, the MAM provides the opportunity to send samples of xenobiology and other materials I deem relevant to R&D in exchange for appropriate rewards. Note: future developments should be aimed at constructing the space elevator and thus initiating project assembly. Good luck.
Okay, so a couple of things have just happened. Okay, we should be able to turn everything back on now. Okay, that worked. Brilliant. There's always a bit of an extra power surge at the beginning when everything first gets switched on. So what we now have is one little production line here which is very inefficiently producing plates. Next to it is a very little inefficient production line which is producing rods. Up here is a little production line which is very inefficiently producing concrete. And down here there's a production line which is very inefficiently producing copper wire. And the entire situation is run based off the back of some leaves which I shoved into these burning machines. So that's it. That's how you make your original base. Now the next thing that you need to do, you've got tier 1 and tier 2, but you also have one other special building to try and build, which is this space elevator, which costs, as you can see there, a load of stuff. 500 concrete, 250 of that, of plates, 400 rods, and 1,500 other things. Now you have to kind of decide what's the best thing to do. Do I go and build that straight away, in which case it's going to take a bit of time, or do you go and look at the tier 1 stuff where you've got a choice now? You've got utility, which gives you the really important fuel, which is a really important thing. You should start. That's a really useful early tech. The rest of this, not so much. Logistics. Now this is vital because you get splitters and mergers, which means that you can take one miner and you can have it running into 4, maybe 5, maybe 6 smelters, and then you can convert all of the output from those and onto different pipes and merge them back together and have them running into constructors at better speeds. So this is a really, really important one. Personal storage, you can build those wherever you like. That's dead handy. Having an extra 5 inventory slots, vital. So there's all of these things to do, and they all cost. And they all cost the same kind of stuff. It's all plates, rods, wire. Moving up to tier 2, things get a little bit more complicated because you suddenly you get the ability to build rotors, modular frames, and they come out of the assembler, which is where you merge things together. We're going to cover those things later. But for the time being, what we have here, although it's not particularly useful, what we really need is a big collection of storage containers in the middle, and to have everything coming into conveyor belts there. That would be handy, but I'm not sure we can quite afford it. And what we needed to do is in fact, let's do that. Let's see if we can afford it. We've got 48 plates, excuse my cough. 50 rods. Gonna grab some cement. Goes there, and that one goes there. Cool. So there you have it, everybody. We let me just climb up here and show you, because this is a ladder. So we found this little valley. We were looking for some iron. We found it has absolutely loads of iron. It's got 1, it's got 2, it's got 3, it's got 4 iron. More perfectly than that. Over there on that hill is a source of concrete. Around this corner is at least 1, potentially 2, possibly even more sources of copper. So I'm going to go and check that out in the near future. But even better than that, there's another set of stone just beyond this bit of stone here, sort of down there somewhere. And there's also 2 sets of zinc. Zinc? Might have been zinc. I can't remember. It was purple anyway. I can't remember later. Quartz. It's quartz. There's 2 sets of quartz down there as well. So this is an ideal start location. And what I have now done is I have built these 4 big containers so that these production facilities can just happily produce away and make as much minerals and resources of the basic types that we could ever possibly need. Now this enables us to run off into the distance and go exploring, because this map is about 30 miles across, and that's sort of, well, kilometers, and there's a lot of stuff to find out there, and a lot of additional things which will help you, better technologies, better recipes for things, and better advancements. And you might as well fill up all your biomass burners and then hightail it off and explore around. On the topic of filling up my biomass burners, I've just noticed these red lights are flashing, which means something's run out. But there you go, that's satisfactory. I'm going to fix that situation, and then we'll move on, and I'm going to give you an extra episode soon, which will include what to do next, what the next stages are, thinking about where to build your main sort of early game base. This is just the very start. See you again soon. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye bye.